Good Saturday morning to all of my friends. Welcome back to the show. I've been away for a little while, but not too far away. Still monitoring things, and I want to talk a little bit about the Summer Wells situation based on one of Ziggy's recent live streams in regards to Andy B. Now, before we do, I want to wish everybody a wonderful, warm welcome. Please remember to hit that thumbs up. It helps share this video out, get me back in the algorithm. I've been up trading crypto and building my wallet. Now, I want to talk a bit about this Andy B situation. And I don't know one way or the other. I was trying to figure out in my head why it was significant. So I posed the question to people who watch this particular channel on my community wall. We'll go take a look at that in a moment. But YouTube Ziggy sent me a message. And I do love the Zigster. I've got no problem with her other than the craziness. I don't have a problem with it at all. But of course, you have to have conversations like this. I could be wrong. I don't want her to get her back up thinking that I'm picking on her. That's not the point to it. Like, it's just human nature to get carried away with things. And when you discover discrepancies, conflicts, perhaps lies, it's easy to go all in and, well, perhaps be wrong. Let me just read this to you. Hey, AB, I heard about your video on me. I didn't watch it, but for what it's worth, I need you and the others to understand that Andy was on the road. It's not an accusation. I'm begging people to listen, and I am at my wit's end here. So hold on, Zigster. I hope you do watch this. How you opened this up tells me your mindset. So, listen, if there's a tape out there, and law enforcement has it and they're aware of it, that's all you can do in your position. It's better that you talk about the conflict constantly, not trying to actively convince everybody of something that you believe to be true is actually true. Because you are in no position, other than really believing in something, to actually be 100% knowledgeable on it. Does that mean you can't talk about it? No, you can talk about it all you want, but be careful about how you're phrasing this. You're the one who's believing it, and that's the dangerous part, Zigster. Even if it is true, you're so adamant that it's a breakthrough in your mind rather than raising a lot more questions that you need to be focused on. That's all. Anyway. So, I heard about your video on me. I didn't watch it. For what it's worth, I need you and others to understand that Andy was on the road. It's not an accusation. Yeah, it is. What else is it? You're accusing him of lying. It's an accusation, Zigster. I'm begging people to listen, and I'm at my wit's end here.
This chicken right here, from the 2 cans, you drain that chicken. And actually, while you're mixing this all together, the chicken will break down, or you can break it down with a fork. This is going to be chicken salad with apples, apple, grapes, salt, pepper, mayonnaise. I used to put, I don't even know what it's called anymore because I don't buy it anymore. We do Hellmann's here. Miracle Whip. I used to put a little bit of Miracle Whip in it. Loved it. But today I'm just going to put Hellmann's in it. And Red Hot Bam, salt, pepper, grapes, and apple. So, enjoy AB.
Why are you begging? You're looking for something. You're looking for clues in an answer. You think that you found something. The whole problem of you looking for clues is the problem. The best that you can do is ask the right questions, talk about the either ors, and even share your opinion if you're courageous enough. I'm not trying to detract from the fact that there's a whole lot of the story here that we don't know. Like all of it. That I'm not disagreeing with you. Not at all. I understand why you and others might think that, but I promise you, he was on the road, and I know for a fact Why was he on the road? I have no idea, but I can take a pretty good guess. I guess. See, there's all of these things that you know, but you're using all of these words like guess. Zigster, you have to get in touch with your inner emotions and be more confident about what those emotions are, rather than just guess and assume. You might have something, you might not, but you don't know. Listen, look at how you're talking. You're listening to Fred Hill. By the way, this Fred Hill, is he off the drugs? I don't know. Hold on, let me continue. Why was he on the road? I have no idea. Well, why don't you think about that? Why don't you focus on that question rather than just trying to convince everybody that Andy B is a liar and he was where he... People forget, you know. People don't recall. Is he straight up lying? Is he trying to cover his tracks? Did he? Who knows? At this time, years later, it's pointless. It's in my mind, it's ridiculous. What's more apt to be true is you know, you're focusing on a distraction where it's taking the attention away from the corruption at the municipal level that needs to be focused on. This is freaking BS. There's no way that those two fools would ever get on television to tell a story like that and never leave my interview room.
Right.
I'd be getting to the facts of that. It doesn't seem like anybody in the area wants to get to the truth of what happened. What does that tell you? It tells me that somewhere along the lines, there's state-sponsored, well, it'll be corruption, but it's the state-sponsored trafficking and all the NWOs that they hide behind. There's a wall of silence, okay? That people hide behind criminality, and then they get in front of the cameras and pretend that they're the victim. That's what people do across the board. Ziggy. That's what needs to be focused on, rather than whether or not Andy B was on a road or not. It's not Andy B's problem, that's misguided and I guess you'll have to just wait and see. If you don't want to believe me, but I would never put out such a thing and be so adamant about it. Oh yeah, you would. Come on, Ziggy. Ziggy, you talk about everything. It's okay to acknowledge that. But why is it that you're doing one thing and then turning around and denying that you're even doing it in the first place when you're doing it right here in the damn letter by you're believing in something and trying to convince me of it. You're not going to convince me of it until you tell me the significance about it all. That's where the discussion needs to be had. Focus on the significance, and the audience will put together everything that you're trying to convince them of without you trying to be so adamant.
Right.
When Evil Entered is another YouTube creator who has reached out to me and told me she saw the surveillance of Andy on Simpson Loop at 3:37 p.m. Eastern. It's not just Fred. So two people have reached out. The sheer fact that you're what you're giving to me as an example of credibility is you're misconstruing that as you're getting this from two separate parties and you're making your mind up. That's the mistake. Do you not understand how life works? You could be You cannot access Simpson Loop from anywhere by car except from Ben Hill Road. I have witnessed Fred speak with law enforcement about Andy on the road. Please believe me. Or not, I guess. See, now you're shaming me. See, believe me, or don't. That's a form of manipulation in your typing. It tells me you're in a weird sense of mind. I think you're like full conditioned, full content creator mode, full clickbait. I love you, Zigster, but you have to get yourself together in this. You have to be skeptical of everything. Put it in relation to something else, not just focus on one thing. You want Andy B. Did Andy B lie? How are you going to prove that lie? How do you know he lied? Because someone else? Well, then talk about the fact that someone else said it. Not about that you believe it wholeheartedly. You're just making yourself look like an idiot because you can't talk about it. You need to be able to explain it, not just convince everybody because you really believe something. cannot access Simpson Loop from anywhere by car except from Ben Hill Road. I have witnessed Fred speak with law enforcement about Andy on the road. Please believe me. Or not, I guess. But you will see, and you will be telling me I was right in the end. IDK, what else to do to get people to pay attention? I'm reaching out to the news and everyone for help. This is not a joke. Ziggy, do you not understand? Are you high on drugs right now with Fred? First of all, the liberal-owned media is there to lie to you. They don't give a crap. They're not investigative journalists. They work hand in hand with the people who are covering up their own corruption. Stop with the BS. So I wrote back to her. I said, why is it significant, Andy being on the road? She says, it is significant because he's denying he's on the road. It wouldn't be a big deal, but he's denying it for some reason. So the guy lives like 50 feet away. They all live right beside each other. So what is him being on a road when why is the lie itself significant? Why? That's what I'm trying to figure out. And better yet, this is what you need to figure out and focus on. If you guys, oh boy, if life were just that easy, all the liars are guilty. He could be mixed up, he could be telling a mistruth, he could be over banging his new wife behind Jody Sue's back. Right? Think about all the things that get played out over YouTube between Andy and Jody in that sense. You're falling into that. Congratulations, that's what you married into. Now you're one of the clan down there in the holler. Congratulations, Zigster. Listen, Ziggy, I'm not saying that you're not right. It's not up to... Your note couldn't be more adamant of your attempt to convince con artists, convince people of something that you don't know to be true yet. Just that somebody else has told you, and you're really suspicious of it. You should be skeptical of it and trying to get out more information rather than, wow, look at what someone just told me. Listen, everybody, can I get 5,000 views? That's what it ends up to. And pretty soon, your mind skips over all of the details that were important just because you're busy trying to relate this information to a bunch of people. You don't care whether or not it's true or not at the end of the day. Also, it goes on to say it's significant because he's denying he was on the road. It wouldn't be a big deal, but he's denying it for some reason. Also, where he was on the road was way past where he lives. Is it significant because... It is significant because Andy says he was at work all day. Why is he lying? You will see. He's involved, I promise. I'm just not talking out my ass. Well, I'm sure they're all involved. Who knows? Listen, I'm not sitting here trying to peg each and every one of them up on Ben Hill Road. In perspective of Summerwell's gone missing, all look suspicious. They look so suspicious, their story doesn't hold any weight. But all of a sudden, to the TBI and Hawkins County, like, to me, it couldn't be any more obvious. I don't know what happened that day, but I know that Mom, Candace, isn't telling the truth. And I know all the stories about the crap that goes on around there, and all of the very strange behavior by Jody Sue, and the breakup with Andy B, and all of the lies with Brad and those two idiots, Scam and Alley. Hold on. I'm not trying to make you feel bad for focusing. People get carried away and too into things. Is he lying? Probably lies about all kinds of things. He doesn't exactly want to go into great detail with any sort of question or real feelings about the day. Just be around for the sake of being around. We could be all working together. There's all kinds of things that are suspicious, of course. My concern is, though, like, when somebody offers you a carrot, you're really susceptible for going for the head shake in that sense. Anyway, everybody, let me know what you guys believe or think about all this down in the comments. Its relevance is a bit of a mystery to me. Everybody's lying about that day. Do you know why? They couldn't get away with it. you're so adamant, Ziggy, the fact that you're even attempting to get in contact with your local news about it tells me that you're disconnected from the current state of affairs in your environment. And all of the answers, when you break out of the matrix in that sense and take a look around you, there's where your answers will be.
About a cup of mayo.
You're too focused from the inside of this case rather than taking a look from the outside. Does Andy have something to do with it? Maybe he does. Maybe Andy's a serial killer. I don't know. And neither do you. That's the thing. Good day.
Bam, 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 bam. Bam, bam, bam. Bam, 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 bam. Wow. Well, what you guys think about that? I think AB is spot on when he speaks of Zig and her behavior. He's respectable about it. I myself have not been listening to her lately. You know, it's not productive. It just puts me in a foul mood. It's just lies and grifting, and there are others out there talking about it. You know, it's not my job to cover Ziggy, and I don't even know what I'm doing anymore on YouTube, to be frank. I'm not enjoying it. You know, I am taking a step back and going, okay, what am I doing here? I mean, I could call out Fred's lies all day long, every day, and still not be caught up. But what's the purpose? You know, why do that? Well, it's because it's looking pretty good. It's got the apple, chicken, grapes, and I'm gonna find some more Bam sauce, and I'm gonna Bam it. It is really good. I actually I toast my bread. The hubby, he uses it as like a cracker dip. I started making this for him and his co-workers back in the day. They love it. Yeah, back to why make videos? Why waste my precious time? Because my time is precious, as is yours. Why waste my time to make a video for someone to watch? Well, because I want someone to learn something or know something. And in my case, I want people to see that everything that is being said now is a lie. It's misinformation. Okay. That little girl right there. Summer Wells. Summer's missing. And I think people tend to forget. That's where all this started. Summer Wells is gone. She's not home. I cannot 100% say who is responsible for that. It would be my opinion. But the fact of the matter is, this little girl is not where she's supposed to be, and that is home with her parents. You had all these people in the beginning start YouTube channels. They started getting a hold of parents and neighbors, and then neighbors started their own YouTube channels, and it just, there's a lot of I'm going to start calling it the unwell community. I've seen that over in Lippy's. And I'm comfortable with that. Sometimes I'm unwell. But I sure the hell don't go and lie intentionally. So when you know that the unwell are the ones spreading the information, and it seems like the unwell are the ones that believe the misinformation, and the unwell are the ones that give to keep this drama going, then what the shit am I doing? You know? What is my video gonna do? I cannot change the mind of an unwell person. And for the most part, the people that are watching my videos already know. So, am I getting through? That's the question, you know? Whatever. I'm thinking about it. I think that after this little stunt that Ziggy pulled, this little TBI tip, you know, that was a pretty big accusation on Andy with no proof. And I asked Andy to let me know if TBI gets a hold of him. I think that would be interesting. I mean, they should, right? If you've got someone emailing a tip that he knows what happened to Summer Wells, then, well, I'll be damned, they better be calling Andy Bernard, right? Well, unless, of course, they can just look back in their little records and go, well, we've already spoken to Andy Bernard. We've already checked cameras at his work. We know where he was. He had an alibi. There's no reason to speak to Andy whatsoever. So, therefore, this tip is a joke. And so then maybe TBI then should be reaching out to Adrian Fred. Look here. Why is it you are calling this information, emailing this information to us? There's a lot of fuck shit going on over there on that channel. She started it out on false records from someone she did not know, and channels spread that shit like wildfire. Can you imagine if those boys, Summer's brothers, were on the internet at that time, listening to these channels, talking about them and their family and their sister, talking about how they had scabies and their parents beat them and they're never coming back home because they're bad kids, they have lice, and it's just, it was very it was not appropriate. Whether it was true or not, it was not appropriate to put that out on the internet. But they did. And that's where it started with Ziggy, with the false CPS report. And people wanted to hear it. And they ran to her channel. And the drama started there. There has been so much happening on her channel in the past 3 years. That's not the first TBI contact she's had. I'm sure it probably won't be the last, but I think it's getting a little more serious now because, you know, she's got this character living in her home, Fred, And I think that she may be doubting him. I mean, she is a little sideways if she's not. You know, she's the one he spoke to all this time in the beginning, and it was straight lies from, you know, Rose Bly used to prostitute. Well, that's a lie. He didn't know Rose Bly. She wasn't a prostitute. He, I think pretty much every single thing he told her the first time he met her was a lie. And, you know, he said, I'm a bullshitter. I'll tell you the truth, but no one wants to know the truth. You know? It's old to me. It's like hearing the same old rumor over and over and over again. Sometimes I feel like I'm in high school. Sometimes I feel like I'm watching just some stupid show. But the thing of it is the content, the matter that we are talking about is people's real life. Okay? June 15th, 2021, Summer Wells did disappear from her home. That really happened. That really happened. But here we are 3 years later with the whole fucking neighborhood on the internet talking about meth monkeys, camera footage, accusations, creator offering to give money for the camera footage to prove her husband is telling the truth. But then she turns around and says, well, I don't have the money, but maybe someone could pledge it. Come on, Zig. It's exactly why people say Merry Christmas. All this, I think, was planned out. I think she knew ... Do the email, we'll talk about it some more, then we'll bring it up, and then that's when we're gonna ask for that money. Because you know, no one's gonna send you that camera footage. The only ones who have it is TBI and possibly the Thompsons. That's whose camera caught whoever was on that road those days. So why don't you research the Thompsons, Ziggy? How hard is that? Go to them.